about dogs or cats. But butterflies, not really a pet, but we need them and they're beautiful. So tell us about butterflies.
And butterflies are in danger. Their population has diminished almost 75% in the last few years. And there's some things we can do to help the butterfly survive. And that's what this story's about.
Okay, so butterflies are free with Steve Schweitzer.
It's the time of year when monarch butterflies begin their long journey south. But fewer and fewer of them are making that trip. Meet the butterfly lady, a woman who's made it her mission to help the monarch butterfly survive.
Well, monarchs are in trouble. That's the thing that people need to know the most, is that they're in trouble.
I met Marty Davis while working on a story with former TV anchors Grace Trahan and Ann Ryder.
You've got to meet Marty, the butterfly lady.
Well, I'm just passionately in love with him. In 28 years, I've raised thousands of them.
Her love affair began when a friend gave her 3-year-old son some monarch caterpillars.
We saw the metamorphosis all the way through the caterpillar to the chrysalis and then the butterfly that came out. And I'm a photographer, so I thought, and I started to photograph it, and I thought, wow, I've got to raise more of these to take more photos.
It's that metamorphosis
Here he goes.
that seems to touch people in many different ways.
They do have a magical effect, and it's interesting because the interaction that people have with butterflies is they bring their own story to it. Some people are grieving, and it's the letting go of the butterfly, it's the letting go of the grief.
That's what happened to Ann Ryder, who was grieving the loss of an unborn son.
I remember the first time I watched a butterfly pop out of the chrysalis. He crawled on my finger. He stayed with me for an hour. An hour. I started talking to him, and then he flew off. And it reminded me of that. There's a Emily Dickinson poem about the hope that flutters in your heart. That's what it was. When he flew off, there was a part of me that let go of some of the grief and sadness I had been carrying over the death of my son.
Joyce Smith was also moved by her first butterfly encounter.
Somebody gave me chrysalids, and at that time I was working for the military and I worked with a lot of grieving people. And so I took them to them and we watched the butterfly come out. And it helped them, and it was fascinating.
Is in danger.
When I see numbers that say the North American monarch population has declined 75% in the last few years, that's not...
No, they're not. Yes, that's accurate.
This alarming decline is due primarily to the loss of habitat all over North America and to illegal logging near their winter home in Mexico. In the U.S., the crisis is caused by the vanishing supply of milkweed. They depend on it to lay their eggs, and it's the caterpillar's only food.
This is it. So if we wipe out milkweed, we are literally wiping out this butterfly.
The problem is so big that the Fish and Wildlife Service is allocating $3.2 million for monarch conservation. Part of that money will be used to turn Interstate 35 into a monarch super flyway. They'll be planting milkweed all along the corridor between Minnesota and the Mexican border. When it comes to milkweed, there are 2 things you can do to help.
Don't destroy it and plant it in your yard, and it's such an easy thing to do.
Joyce planted milkweed all around her house. Just a few plants can make a difference. The other day, they found close to 80 eggs on this plant.
A mom can lay probably 500 to 700 eggs in the wild, and they say that probably only 4 to 5 of those will live long enough to become a butterfly.
They say it doesn't take much effort to turn your yard into a butterfly garden, like this one I found in Pentwater, Michigan. To start a garden, it's easy to find milkweed growing wild by the side of the road. Or, for tips on buying it locally or online, visit petpalstv.com. But it's important not to buy plants that have been treated with chemicals that might kill the butterfly eggs.
I don't hurt him.
Take it from people who know. Just being around monarchs can be a life-changing experience. For Pet Pals TV, I'm Steve Schweitzer.
Okay, now you can fly. Come on, baby.